we recently did a podcast with NBL basketball star, NBL basketball star. That's the Canadian Basketball League, Professional Basketball League, Ryan Anderson. And we wanted to kind of just touch on some topics that we discussed with Ryan regarding Kyrie Irving. I think all three of us were pretty much in agreement with how we felt about the level of professionalism or lack thereof that Kyrie Irving showed for his organization and his teammates. And Ryan was defending him because he and Kyrie Irving, they have a relationship with each other. I don't know if that's the entire reason why he was defending him, but nevertheless, he was defending him. And we just wanted to kind of discuss that a little bit. Did y'all get anything like a different point of view from what Ryan was making regarding Kyrie Irving that might kind of give you pause about what y'all were initially feeling?
Go ahead, Jay.
About him?
Not really. He was, I was expecting Team Kyrie, but he was even a little bit more Team Kyrie than I expected. I disagreed with a few takes about, being contractors and such. But nonetheless, I vouching for Kyrie's character and, who he is as a player, and from his vantage point, I could see how he comes to that perspective. So I mean, it's nothing I didn't consider before, but hearing somebody who rides for him, it makes you think about the other vantage point a little bit more. But I wouldn't say that I had any different takeaways than I would have already imagined.
I actually would say that I did. He did, I thought he did make some good points about looking at it from a player's perspective and how that dynamic, player-coach dynamic is with the league.
Yeah,
and
I agree with that.
Player and stuff. I really liked his insight when I asked him how he would handle it. If he was being asked by the media or someone else like that to speak on behalf of someone else in the locker room, right?
What did he say that you're talking about right now?
He said the first thing that he would do, as far as being a team captain on teams as he has done, is he's going to his brother and checking on him first and foremost, and being like, hey, everything good with you? Do you need anything? Yeah. What are you thinking? And then he trying to offer advice, person to person, brother to brother, versus, want to be angry or mad at him.
And it didn't necessarily answer the question though.
But let me ask you this, Aaron, when he said that, did that kind of hit you differently, or was that something that you would expect that he would say from that, or did it kind of like it hit me different in the way that? Well, go ahead. You answer the question I just asked you, and I'll tell you.
I'm gonna say it hit me differently, but it did put me back in the place that I would be as being, in the military, being a supervisor, right, in charge of flight and people, and I have to say that's the first thing that I'm gonna do. That's the first thing that we are taught to do is, man, before I dig in on you, let me find out, is everything all right? What is driving the behavior that caused you to have the reaction or do the action that you took? Normally, it's not just someone did this action. Something led up to that, and something is driving you, and you need to get to the bottom of that before you can understand it. Once you understand the thinking, see the reason, then you know how to deal with it, and you can't deal with everything equally. Everybody and every situation is different. So from that standpoint, that's what gave me a little bit of pause. It didn't change my mind on how I feel, but it did give another perspective.
But so the question was you as a teammate having to face the media getting asked questions about Kyrie or a teammate. And to me, what he said, just because I'm 38 and I've been through life stuff, I would say, yeah, checking on your brother is a prerequisite. And that is probably the first thing that you do, but it doesn't answer the question of the emotions you're facing day in, day out. We on the road, we on NBA TV, I'm taking interviews, and it's like you get You get a week, 2 weeks, a month into it, and you're asked a question, how do you feel? How do you deal with it? That question wasn't answered.
Yeah, he didn't. Well, he said that his answer would be he can't speak for another man. And PJ Tucker was asked the same thing this in training camp over James Harden. As soon as he sat down at training camp, they started hitting him with the James Harden questions. And PJ was like, I'm here to speak for PJ Tucker. I'm not James Harden. Ask me questions about PJ Tucker.
Exactly. Because they're brothers. They're brothers.
Exactly.
But
and so here's what I took from the whole thing. While I still agree with you guys that there's a level of professionalism that you expect from a fan's perspective, right? I think we can only see it a certain way, whereas Ryan is coming from a player's perspective. He could only see it a certain way because he's been through the questions, the reporters trying to come at you and creating controversy. I understand why Ryan was giving us the answers that he was giving us. And so all day he riding with the players, just like all day you gonna ride with the fans because you're like, well, still, I don't agree with that because, you're doing is not professional and I'm gonna just call you out on it. So what I feel like Ryan was trying to say is that there's so much stuff that goes on behind the scenes that it bubbles over in front of the media and it bubbles over to where the fans could see it. And when the fans see it, they're seeing the results of what's happening behind the scenes.
Yeah, I agree with that.
For example, hang on, let me finish. For example, what if Kyrie Irving is dealing, and I'm not saying this is what he said at all, but I'm giving an example. For example, what if Kyrie Irving is dealing with knowing that somebody behind the scenes in the organization, upper management may be racist, for example, right? Mm-hmm. The player knows that. The players knows that. The general public and the fans and the media don't know that. All right. Yeah. So now Kyrie is dealing with something that we don't even know that's going on. And because this guy is the way that he is, I'm going to handle him like this. I'm going to handle the situation like this because this is what I have to face. The result of that is what we see and is what the media is reporting on because they don't know the whole inside scoop either. So that's what Ryan is saying. If you knew what went on with the team owners and this, and remember he said, if we could do a reality show and y'all knew what was going on with the players and the owners, y'all be like surprised. He made that comment. Remember, Aaron? Yeah. So that's what because of that, I understood what Ryan was trying to say. Like, hey, there's stuff that y'all don't know what's going on, and y'all speaking
so
on.
You have to, as I get to be, grown from just a regular adult to a grown ass man, I don't see it from a player point of view. Here's in its most simplistic form. You get paid $40 million because fans pay millions on millions of dollars to watch you play a game. Let's start there. Fans are the reason you get paid $40 million to play a game. Now, let me paint a different scenario for you. I'm at work. My branch manager or my boss or whatever might be low-key racist, right? And then we have a town hall meeting and my boss's boss is there and I pop off. Or I decide to have an attitude, not show up. And I'm like, y'all don't know what's going on. Y'all don't know what's going on. I'm dealing with this lightweight racism at work. Y'all don't know what's going on. Or I'm going to say not my company's name, but my employer is still writing the checks. It don't give you the right to act a fool and mess the money up. Fans are the reason you get paid $40 million. Pay respect to that. It doesn't matter if somebody in the organization is racist or you got this side stuff going on. You're disrespecting fans and the game when you say you don't warrant a need to know. I don't owe you an explanation for not coming to work. It's none of your business. I'm entitled. And that's that. Like, it doesn't go down like that. And I wasn't going to give that the other day and be confrontational, but But in its truest form, you're only paid because millions of fans are giving millions of dollars. Pay them respect.
There's a right and a wrong way to handle everything.
Yeah.
And no matter, even seeing it from, even understanding, hearing his perspective, I still don't agree that he went about the right way. I think he needs a vet's vet to that he can bounce things off of, you know what I'm saying, to be like, man, how do I handle it? Because I really truly don't know how to best handle it. If that scenario you painted, which we said we don't know what the situation was, right? Mm-hmm. If you don't trust the media, there's always a way. There's a way to have a outlet within the media, somebody that you trust. You might not trust everyone, but there's someone that you can go to and be like, this is a good, solid brother. I can trust him to give it straight and not paint me in a negative light, right? People in the media will befriend you just so that they can be that person that you will give a straight up.
I have a question for you. Kobe Bryant is his idol, one of his mentors. What would a 40-something-year-old Kobe Bryant be telling Kyrie over the past month?
I don't know.
No, I don't think it would be, enabling what has transpired. That's what I don't think would have happened. It's just like, I think he's 28. I think he's young-minded a little bit, 29 or however old he is.
Definitely. And I know. I agree. I agree that there's some, he 20 something years old. There's a lot of maturing that's going to have to take place. That's probably going to take place if he be in the league a little bit longer, that he's going to understand how to handle things. He may still feel the same, but he's going to say, okay, I need to handle this a little bit different, for my sake. So no, I'm not disputing you, Jason. I'm just saying I understand why Ryan answered the questions the way that he did. Yeah. I understand both sides. So here's the thing that you gotta remember whenever you are talking to somebody about what would you do in this situation? Nobody's gonna be persuaded to think differently than what they already think. And understanding that will go a long way in you keeping your sanity. What the saying goes, a man convinced against his will is of the same opinion still. If I have a different point of view, it's going to be because I came to an understanding myself, not because you said something that persuaded me. Bless those that can be persuaded when they're on the wrong path and you can talk them into going the right way. But that comes, I think, with time and age and maturity. So understanding that point of view is why I can sit here and say, I understand what Ryan was trying to say. It don't mean that I agree with him, but I understand why he gave that answer.
Yeah. I think that one day 45-year-old Kyrie is going to look back and say, I could have handled that situation better. I'll leave it at that.
Yeah. Because we do it. We do.
The one other, that's a lot of stuff that I do. And the one other thing pushback that I didn't really get a chance to go at, when Ryan was like, LeBron, goes and he drives every decision that the organization makes. They bow down, they listen. And that Kyrie went to Boston when you asked him, well, what happened in Boston? And he was like, they didn't want to listen in Boston. And the reason why is because Kyrie, as great as Kyrie is, I'm not about to sit here and speak down on his skill. As great and as talented as he is, he's nowhere near LeBron, and he ain't gonna or Kevin Durant, or now James Harden, and he's not gonna command the same respect and the same
personnel power,
the same power that those other players have wielded, especially not LeBron. And I feel that Kyrie, having accomplished what he accomplished, hitting that shot that he hit, which I think was the greatest shot in NBA history, single shot, I think. At least that I saw. There might be others.
Actually, Aaron, there was one, and I was thinking about that because it's actually number 3.
Mario Elie.
Oh, no.
This was game 7 in the championship.
Dame Lillard on OKC.
No.
Yes.
The reason why I say no, Jay, is because that NBA was in the
Finals,
first round, second round.
Bro,
I'm talking about the
meaning
of the shot.
That series was hot. and he sent him home on a 40-foot sidestep.
Bye-bye.
Hey, I would say this too. Even Russell Westbrook handles the media differently at the age that he is now than what he. Remember, he said, "Man, what y'all niggas tripping?" Remember, he did that. He don't do that. This right here. He's still an aggressive Russ, but he ain't that Russ where he just come out and say with no filter what's on his mind.
Yeah,
but that Russ just comes with age.
Russ said for a whole year to one reporter, next question, regardless to what the question was being asked. He even said next question when the reporter asked someone else. The reporter asked his teammate a question, and he said next question.
Yeah.
But anyway, it was an interesting discussion. We learned some things that maybe we didn't know, and like I said, I would love to talk to him again just about hoops. Not specifically about Kyrie, but just about hoops, because I think he got a lot of knowledge to share and experience. And remember, he had to deal with the media too, from probably high school all the way up through the pros, and so he feels a certain way about the media.
He probably had people asking him about Royce White a lot as a teammate of Royce White.
Maybe I'm gonna ask him that. I'm gonna see if I can get Royce White on. We'll see if we can do that. But thank you for watching the Hoopz Junkiez podcast. If you enjoyed the video, make sure that you like, subscribe, and comment down below. Also, if you want to check out a few more clips, make sure that you hit the bell notification so that you're alerted whenever we post a new video.